Last night on Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Good morning, Dolan family!
You saw the Extreme Makeover design team give back hope and independence. And change the Dolan's lives forever. But you didn't see it all.
1, 2, 3!
Now we're taking you way behind the scenes.
It's a really good day. It's a really, really good day.
Projects so special you haven't seen them until now.
Have we done the right thing here?
Yes, you have done a great thing.
From Beauty and the Beasts to gifts that keep on giving.
What time is it?
The time is 8:19 a.m.
And the mystery inside Ty's secret room revealed. This is Extreme Makeover Home Edition. How'd they do that?
I'm Ty Pennington, and we just built another great house in another wild week. But this one was a little different. This time we're building a house for a guy who couldn't even see it. Right, he's blind. And building him the perfect house took a lot of hard work, creativity, and high technology that we just didn't have time to show you in our other show. But tonight, you'll see all of it. Hello, computer?
How may I help you?
How'd they do that?
5 designers, plus 7 days, plus hundreds of volunteers, plus thousands of gallons of coffee, equals one great house.
Nice. I couldn't have said it better myself.
How'd they do that? You know, like an elephant.
How'd they do that? He'll be able to hear this and know exactly where to go.
How'd they do that?
I was kind of at a loss on how to put this puzzle together.
How'd they do that?
Wow. Welcome home, Dolan.
How'd they do that? Ow! I'm really gonna have to lighten up on my swing.
Take it out.
Gotcha.
Good.
Fall to mail.
So I think we all enjoy coming to work together and having a good time. You come back here and you remember why you're here and you're doing it for the family and we're working with a bunch of great people and yeah, I'm excited.
This is going to be a very, very different experience because I think we've gotten used to door knocks where people come out screaming, yelling, and ready to hug us. That's not where this family is right now.
So we're down here in St. Petersburg, Florida, to help out the Dolan family, especially a man by the name of Jamie Dolan.
Dad, who's Jamie, Chrissy's mom, Charlie's the oldest son. We have Haley, who's the middle daughter, and JT, their 3-year-old son.
This is a wonderful family. They're very loving and very close. But 4 months ago, huge changes.
The father figure of this household was the victim of a heinous act of senseless violence.
Jamie Dolan was working a second job in an electronics store trying to put away a little money for his 3 kids.
A man came in with a gun and started firing.
There's blood all over the place. I understand that. We're having everybody get there as fast as they can.
They said there was a shooting at the store and nobody knew exactly what had happened. This person killed 2 people in that store and shot Jamie Dolan in the head before turning the gun on themselves.
Jamie was blinded for life. A bullet went through his head, missed his brain, but took out his eyes.
And it won't ever make sense. I was just glad he was alive. I just love it so much.
I don't know that he's entirely come to terms with being blind. It's all very raw and very fresh.
Yeah, he gets frustrated. But he has an awful lot to live for, too.
For me, the root of all happiness starts with my family. Without my family, I don't know what I'd do. I don't even want to try to imagine.
They are not only a tight-knit family, they have an extended tight-knit family.
Chrissy's brother, Phil, and his fiancée Lauren have moved in to help out.
That says a lot for this group of people. There's a lot of love in this family.
Just really, really nice people who've had a horrific, inexplicable thing happen to them. But I would just tell everyone to, buckle in and sort of expect something we've never really seen before.
Now, as you can imagine, it pretty much turned their life upside down. This happened 4 months ago, so the family's barely been able to deal with the shock.
You have to come to grips with the reality of the situation. And the reality is that Jamie will never see again.
What's remarkable this week is that Jamie Dolan feels that he is the lucky one. He feels that he's blessed to have his life and to have his family.
Come on, guys.
He doesn't face his future with uncertainty or with fear. He faces it with hope.
You guys ready? Here we go.
Good morning, Dolan family! Jamie, Chrissy, Charles, Haley, and JT, wake up and come on out here!
when we got to meet them for the first time, a very typical looking family, aside from Jamie using a cane to navigate the front porch.
Hey, James, how are you, man? Hey, Charles. Nice to meet you. I know it's been tough. So this is all very new for you, isn't it?
Yeah, only hasn't been that long.
It wasn't our typical door knock. They're still going through the pain of the incident. And so you have to embrace that for what it is. You can't stage anything.
I just got to keep going. I've got too much to be happy about.
It's a little bit more subdued than like jumping around as much as some of the other families, but you can feel it inside. You can really sense their emotion.
It's one day at a time.
Yeah, we're going to change and make a difference here, and hopefully for the better.
These guys have had a year I can't even imagine. This isn't a family that's going to do a lot of celebrating, and I think we knew that.
So, Dolan family, show me the house.
You know, just to know that you can make them a little bit happier, even though you can never change what happened. It's a really good day. It's a really, really good day. So
you are Jamie's mom?
Jamie's mom,
Very
and
good.
Jamie's dad's behind me.
I'm Skip. I'm Charlie. Skip. Pleasure, Charlie.
This used to be our home. When he was a little boy, I brought him home from the hospital to that house.
7, 10, 75. You hear, this is Skip's heel print, and mine, and Jamie's heel and his little toes. He was only, well, he was 25. He was about a year old, I guess. Not even a year old when we did that.
We're actually
We're the lucky parents.
I mean, our boy is with us. Even the Shooter's family, they lost their son, and they have to live with what he did. My heart goes to them, too.
Hello.
I got a hug, my boy.
We found a way.
We've just been wanting this for him. He's had a lot of bad luck in the last couple of years, culminating with that bad accident at the store. He's been awesome. He's comforted us. He say, Mom and Dad, I'm okay. I'm going to be all right. We're very proud of him.
Craig Gallagher from Lexington Homes is our general contractor, and this man is a true leader. And you can see that inside that really tough leader is a heart of gold. Thank you.
No, I'm so happy to do it. We're really looking forward to this. I can't tell you how excited everyone at Lexington Homes has been. You've touched a lot of people's hearts, so when you guys come back, we hope it's something that you'll really feel good about. I'll give you a little hug, brother. Okay? All right? We'll get you tight.
So, guys, are you ready to go to vacation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Dolan family is the victim of a tragedy. However, we don't dwell on the tragedies. We try and help them through design. Calfskin. DCM with a calfskin. How many times has a busload of active designers come and specifically targeted one person's house? And with the machinery of ABC and our production company, we can really actually, in a week, do incredible amounts of work.
And action time.
So, guys, I don't think I have to tell you how important this one is. Honestly, our challenge this time was to build a house for a guy who really couldn't see it.
We're going to have to definitely take all of his other senses into consideration.
Aroma, texture, feeling, touch, sound.
A water feature, a wind chime, music.
Textured walls, so by feeling what's on the wall, you know where you are.
We've learned that there's technology out there that can really help us all through computers.
This whole point is just really giving Jamie as much independence as possible.
He won't see again with his eyes, but he'll see with other things. He'll see things that I never see.
For instance, this particular tree needs to go because it's in the footprint of the house.
One of the things you don't see in the regular show is all the planning that goes into place. And although we just recently knocked on the family's door, we have to start planning immediately. For Jamie, I can tell that the root system has already started to penetrate the driveway. It's dangerous for any person, especially somebody who's blind. So we're going to have to take these trees out, and I'll make sure that I replace them with some nice palm trees.
Coming up, gentlemen, place your bets.
We're going to have that down in an hour, 45 minutes.
He's being pretty optimistic.
Let's go.
Go. I think there's $100 coming my way on this one.
We're having steak tonight.
That's next on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. How'd they do that?
My sister-in-law. She says, remember me, he's
so hot.
I like this guy. The way we're gonna plug it in, we're turning it on, and we're going out. One of our guys, Adam, on our crew, actually had a bet with Craig that he wouldn't be able to get the house demoed in like, I don't know how many hours it was.
We're going to have that down in an hour and 45 minutes.
He's being pretty optimistic. And Ben Franklin says 3 hours minimum.
They had a little bet on how quickly they could clear the site on this job.
I'm giving them 2-to-1 odds. It won't go over 3 hours. I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
I think we got a deal.
And I'm shaking on it.
There we go, baby.
Knock the house down and have it done in 3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours. Okay, at ease, Craig.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Go. I don't want to seem a little overly confident, but I think there's $100 coming my way on this one.
I think that Craig's a little nervous right now because we're at an hour and 22 minutes into demo, and I see a big pile of debris over there. We're having steak tonight.
And sure enough, as soon as the clock hit like the 3 hour mark.
3, 2, 1.
Craig put the last piece of foundation in the dumpster. And Adam lost the bet. Craig made the deadline.
I consider myself to be a good sport, but for the record, as far as the bet goes, I won.
We got a lot of stragglers here, so all these people here need to come forward. My name is Patrick Higgins, and I'm the director of the show. She'll come around the back of the van, get Al Cat getting out. You'll back up, and then Trace will get a shot this way.
Our director, Patrick Higgins, he makes everything look the way it looks.
This is kind of like my opening shot with all the people in the blue going this way. What is important is that you really get into the heads of the family and really understand what they want. That's what's important. And, you know, that is something that we try to do every week.
He knows what he wants and he knows what he needs. And I'll tell you what, it takes that kind of leadership to do what we do inside and out.
Can we find out if any dumpsters are going to be coming in front of that street sign where we're going to put that camera, blocking that camera's view?
And what's great about Patrick is that he's really got vision.
So Ty's going to be here with his handycam. We want to fly over and connect it to there.
Patrick's whole thing is we're going to come in from this side, we'll come in, we'll gun from here, we'll come up from below. We'll have 2 cameras over here and 3 up from the bottom. I don't know what this means. He's from Texas originally, and so I think that's... I don't know.
There's a bone of contention on the part of all of the designers about some of the aesthetics, about the exterior of this master bathroom. Sometimes when we build a house as quickly as we do, things kind of slip through us as designers, and we really rely on the contractors to sometimes make aesthetic decisions. Because of privacy, they've decided to block off half of the windows. They decided to block half of the windows with concrete and stucco.
The problem with that is it changed kind of the whole look of the front of the house.
I checked with Craig to see if there was anything we could do to change it. He says at this stage of the game there really isn't.
So Eduardo pretty much came up with a great plan.
So what we're going to do is put the lat straight in the ground, plant some plants right in here, and some vines will be growing up. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but with landscaping, we're resolving a design issue that has to do with the house. Our pots have arrived, and not just what I asked for, but even more than that. They've sent us a whole selection to work with and choose from. Whoa, we got plants coming. We got lots of plants coming. And we got a bunch of different kinds of palms, both tall ones and big ones. We got some grasses coming in, and we're going to place these in very specific places. It's going to give a really nice accent to this house, because again, we're going for that South Pacific Asian vibe, but still keeping it Florida style. All right, ready, you guys? Yep. Move that palm. Come on. Just bring it down. Whoa, 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 whoa. I had some custom lattice made by our guys, bought some really beautiful pink bougainvillea, planted some palm trees around it, and voila, it was taken care of.
Coming up.
Here is our ceiling puzzle that now we got to put together.
Paulie drew the puzzle, cut the puzzle, helped paint the puzzle pieces, and then stood amongst it puzzled. You seem to be struggling.
A little bit.
That's next on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. How'd they do that?
Corner. Get 4 corners. We know that much.
Preston and Paul built this wonderful, pretty pink. Hold on. Pretty pink.
Oh, why don't you take the easy part?
Well, that's where you got to start. You got to start with the easy parts.
Princess Puzzle Palace. Okay.
We got puzzle ceiling.
Yeah.
We got puzzle bedspread.
We got a puzzle dresser.
Paul and Preston, pretty pink Princess Puzzle Palace. Did I just say that? I think I did. That was hard to say. So, I'm getting the craziest feeling that you like puzzles.
Yeah, I do.
And obviously you're pretty good at them.
Haley is a princess, quite literally. She is adorable. And her princess room was puzzling for Paulie to build.
We're going to do a ceiling. We're putting a puzzle on the ceiling, and we'll suspend the puzzle like it were a drop ceiling. And it'll look like a puzzle.
That's pretty cool. You never cease to amaze me behind that pretty face. There's a really brilliant child's mind. Paul DeMeo is my good buddy, and we love him. We wouldn't have a television show without him.
I'm just trying to scale this down. Each inch equals 1 foot, so when we transfer this onto the ceiling, it'll all be to scale.
His mind is so great, and he's such a character. I just love watching him do any project.
I'm really excited about the puzzle room. The puzzle room is going to be a very cool room. But this family loves puzzles, and this week I'm going to love puzzles too. What I did is took some half-inch MDF and cut puzzle pieces out that I drew, and it came to about 24 puzzle pieces. Here is our ceiling puzzle that now we got to put together, and Nancy, our muralist, will paint the blue sky on it with the pink flamingos flying.
But what was great about this puzzle project was he puzzled himself.
Whenever you're doing a puzzle, it's very important to start with one corner. So we got a corner. That's the wrong corner. It'll go together pretty good once we get started, but it takes a while to get going.
Paulie drew the puzzle, cut the puzzle, helped paint the puzzle pieces, and then stood amongst it puzzled.
I'm doing good over here.
Obviously not. If you're making a puzzle, wouldn't you plan it out first where it goes? I thought we were going to put light through.
I painted over the numbers. So I numbered each of these puzzle pieces so I'd know how they'd go back together. But we painted over the numbers.
What is that piece anyway? That is a ridiculous looking piece.
It's an important piece.
I know. You should remember where that piece goes. For me, this is priceless stuff to watch, but we were running out of time, so I had to jump into his puzzle and help him put it together.
That's not it.
Bingo.
Look at this. Now we got it.
He's brilliant, but I think Haley's much better at puzzles.
Vanessa, tell me what you're doing.
I'm just proving that I'll do anything to help Paul out.
We got it all back together, and then I needed Nancy, our muralist, to paint something on this. So Nancy painted a beautiful blue sky with flamingos on it.
I didn't want to step on it because it's still kind of fresh. So we rigged this lovely suspend Nancy thing.
Kind of opposite of how Michelangelo did the Sistine Chapel. Nancy kind of laid on her tummy on some scaffolding.
How'd they do that?
So everything's coming together here in the puzzle room. We got our flying flamingos started. Haley will be able to lay in bed and say, oh, that piece on the wall goes over there. Something over here goes up there. Trying to put our princess together here. So in the end, I really like the way it worked out. I like that we were able to take other puzzle pieces that didn't make it to the ceiling, put them on the walls as kind of some color there.
Puzzling enough, he did a great job.
Here we are in Haley's puzzle room, and lots of different puzzles we have happening here. If you notice, this is not a perfect puzzle because I can't figure out actually how to get it back to her true form. For some reason, her neck ends up going into her shoulder and not where it's supposed to be, but that's something that Haley might be able to figure out using her brain. The bed puzzle, this all comes together and makes a little work table. They all go together at some point, and they make a nice little work table for her to come in here and work on her puzzles. Then we have our ceiling puzzle. We started with a puzzle that's all correct, coming across the room. Haley will be able to lay in bed and say, well, let's see, that flamingo piece there goes over there. What's puzzling me about this bureau is, of course, it's a tiara over here. You can open this drawer, but then there's a hidden drawer right there where she can keep her little treasures. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? You guys.
Coming up, sometimes you don't care who's watching. That's next on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. How'd they do that? If you or someone you know deserves a home makeover, go to abc.com, keyword home makeover, to apply to be on the show.
How they do that? Hi, welcome to my trailer. So, listen, you know, designing a house, it's kind of like meeting friends and neighbors. And I like neighbors. Do you like neighbors? Do you? My project was to create a bedroom for Phil and Lauren. And you guys have really helped out with these guys, huh? And it looks like there's obviously a lot of love in this family.
Yes, a lot.
Chrissy's brother, Phil, and his fiancée, Lauren, have been there every minute of the day. And their dream was to eventually move in with the family so they could really help them out. So these are the moments that you don't really get to see a lot when, you know, I stare at color swatches and fabrics and patterns and try and figure out exactly, well, what the room's going to look like. On the regular show, I mean, you know, we don't have a lot of time to show how much thought and planning and confusion and chaos goes into making the room. Okay, now bring it over here for me. Sometimes when you think about a plan for somebody, it all just makes sense and all the cards come into play. Sometimes it doesn't. Looks like this one I'm going to have to work at a little bit more. But it's what we do, so we'll figure it out. I think that's got to be the wall. I think that's the accent wall. Absolutely. You got it. From that corner to that corner. You're awesome. Thank you, sir. Well, we made a decision, and I'm very proud of it. I'm going to make some bedside tables. The tables will actually look a little bit like that. Built some pretty cool pieces of furniture as well. These two side tables that I call the 3D tables. They're basically solid walnut that I actually routed out, created almost like wooden bricks. Showed you how I got this, which, you know, uses a jig, routed these pieces out individually. So this went here, then we did a couple single pieces. Now I've actually glued and clamped these guys together, which means they've turned out pretty nice. We can start doing this, creating what will be a cube, and it'll have a shelf that goes through the middle. It'll actually kind of be a table with a shelf in it, and we'll put the glass on top. But now we're going to have to actually run it through the table saw at a 45. See, now that we have a 45 cut in here, right? Here's the beauty of that. And we'll actually put some glue in here, and we'll clamp these together like this. We're using a little band clamp. We'll just tighten this thing down. They're very ornate, very detailed, and took a lot of time to make, but they turned out awesome. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out right now is the paintings I'm going to do. It's all about trying to stay with the botanical kind of tropical Florida feel, and I'm going to do one that's more of a monotone, like a one color, like this yellow right here. You see that yellow right there? See, it's just nice. So, yeah.
It's really cool with you. I need you to go yell at people with this megaphone right now.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ari.
Thanks.
Okay, now there's one project that almost didn't get finished, and that would be the paintings I need to put on the wall to give the room a lot of color. So I've got to go right now, as well, I need to motivate people to bring furniture into the house. So my artwork will have to wait. Here's the problem. Sometimes I worry so much about the whole house getting completed. All right, come on, people, let's move it. Let's move it in the house. I pretty much kind of put my project on hold to make sure the house gets done. And then next thing I know, the house is almost done, but my secret room isn't. So I did a quick painting, painted it basically right there in the middle of everybody. We had in front of several hundred standing and, you know, cheering on, which was a little awkward, but fun. So to make sure we don't get, well, stuff all over our clothing, we're gonna change. Cue the sounds. Here we go, okay. I don't really get a chance to do painting and stuff like that much anymore because I'm too busy designing things. But yeah, my background is fine art, man. I really love playing with color. I used to illustrate a lot. That's what got me into graphic design. I was a pretty good illustrator back in the day. But here's what's cool about this painting. Right now, it looks pretty awesome as one unit, but I'm actually gonna take these all apart and they'll be separate paintings. Make it even more abstract.
We got 5 minutes, Scott.
5 minutes? Seriously? The paintings almost didn't make it in the room. They finally did. And it basically goes like this. That's the left corner. That's the right corner. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, that's bottom right, which means this is bottom left. Yeah. Okay. So that's how they'll actually go up. The guys who actually hung them on the wall put one of them upside down. So I didn't even realize it until we showed the room to the family. And then I walked in there later and was like, wait a minute, that's not right. Okay, welcome to my secret room. Now, this was my project all week, and to be honest with you, well, some of it was easy, and some of it wasn't quite as easy as I was hoping. But the idea is to give Phil and Lauren a bedroom that was part of the family and part of the house. So here's what we did. Brought in some really cool wallpaper to give the room a lot of fun, and had several projects this week. One project, of course, was building 2 side tables that I call the 3D cubes. I love the way it turned out. I brought in some cool bedding that I call lemongrass that has some kind of modern textures, very linear lines, and then brought in some colors like this to really kind of give it some pop. But that wasn't quite enough, so I needed to bring in a lot of color. So I painted my own paintings and then ended up framing them in walnut tongue groove flooring. Had to make it happen basically in seconds. It's amazing what happens in the last few seconds of putting this whole thing together. Phil and Lauren, these guys have really been there for the Dolans, and now they can stay forever because they've got their own room. That somehow got finished.
Coming up.
So what we've done is we've got this guy coming in from New York, Tim, who does all this voice activation stuff.
We wanted to use the best technology possible to give Jamie the most freedom in this new home that we could.
What is the temperature?
The temperature in the house is 74 degrees.
That's ahead on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. How'd they do that?
I have a little bit of a hard time getting around in here and doing anything that needs to be done in the kitchen. I have a bad habit of hitting my head on the freezer when I'm standing up getting stuff out of the fridge.
Jamie Dolan is the victim of a tragedy, and it's recent, and that's what makes our arrival here so timely and so wonderful, is that now we can help.
This only happened 4 months ago, and Jamie, he hasn't figured out how to get around in his house, so we were here to make his life a little easier.
It was essential that everything that went into this house, every piece of the framing, every finish, every accessory, was all designed to meet Jamie Dolan's needs for his new life.
When you're at home, you think of all the little things you do with your fingers, like pressing the remote control, or turning on your stereo, or going to your thermostat and raising the temperature. All those things require sight. So what we've done is we've got this guy coming in from New York, Tim, who does all this voice activation stuff.
Tim, we had him scheduled for later down the week, but we had to call him and have him fly down from New York like 2 days early.
I came here today because everything is ahead of schedule and people were getting nervous that the drywall was going to go up before everything was wired. So I came here to make sure everything was wired properly. For example, the light switches from Simply Automated, they work over the power lines. So we have to make sure that all these wires are run properly so that the signal will pass over those wires.
We wanted to use the best technology possible to give Jamie the most freedom in this new home that we could.
So let's talk about everything he'll actually be able to control with just the use of his voice. So we're talking thermostat, telephone, computer.
Information, like you can have it read him as email.
This stuff is so cool. It's like, it's a computer that's a server that runs through the house. Basically any room in the house, anybody's voice.
Computer.
How may I help you?
Open schedules.
Schedule is open.
Every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. turn the laundry room lights on for 2 hours.
Every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. turn the laundry room light on for 2 hours.
This is going to make such a huge difference in Jamie's life.
That's exactly right. It's about increasing the quality of life for Jamie.
Basically, anything you want done in your house or in your life, it can be done by voice activation.
Bill, you want to talk to the house?
Sure. Yeah. There you go. You got the microphone right here.
This is the microphone.
What time is it?
The time is 8:19 a.m.
Set the thermostat to 75 degrees.
I have adjusted the thermostat to 75 degrees.
You can simply stand in the center of a room and ask the house any question. If the phone's ringing, you can say, "Who is calling?" and the house will name the person for you. The house will tell you if the front door is open or closed. He could even ask the house what the stock market quotes were for his portfolio. I mean, that's insane. That is miraculous. And that's the kind of system we were able to put in this house for Jamie.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I got to go take a little field trip this week to a place that raises guide dogs for the blind. So, Lindsay, what's the deal with these dogs? Like, these are the dogs that become guide dogs, right?
Well, these are all of our dogs in training, yes. They are all in training to be future guide dogs. They are bred here. They go into puppy raiser homes for 1.5 years, and they train here for upwards of 6 months.
Wow, can I be a puppy raiser?
Yes, you can more than welcome to be a
I'd like to
puppy
be a puppy raiser.
Yes.
They're just beautiful dogs. Beautiful dogs. Do they cost a lot of, does this whole process cost a lot of money?
Approximately $30,000 for each team, because when a student comes, they come and live with us for 26 days. We cover their food, their board, all the expenses.
$30,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
The guide dog thing is really cool. They take labs that are really beautiful dogs and they teach them to do things.
Betty, forward. Good girl.
They're taught to know when to cross the street. You know, they can save people's lives.
It's the eyes of their owner, right? They're the eyes of the owner.
Well, we like to say we give the person, our student, the gift of mobility. We give them independence through the eyes of a guide dog.
Puppies! Puppies! Oh, you got my pencil. Oh, my little rascal. My little rascal. I hear we have a little a puppy coming, don't we, for Jamie?
Yes, we do. We have a puppy named Lexi. He's been sponsored by Lexington Homes. He's a beautiful 6-week-old black lab. It's a little girl.
They gave us Lexi to give to Jamie, who now will go through a 2-year tough school. So Lexi's got a tough road ahead of her. I love you. Give me a kiss. It's the beginning of a wonderful relationship. You little
Hey guys, I'm Paul. How are you?
Paul, Scott.
Scott?
Ernie.
It just so happens that Scott and Ernie, our two paramedics, were the same paramedics who first got the 911 call to show up at the electronics store where these people had been fatally wounded, and Jamie was also lying on a floor dying. And so, what kind of shape was he when you first got on the scene?
I was behind the counter on the ground, trying to get up actually.
Right. Very confused, dazed. He knew his name. That's about all he knew. When he tried to get up the second time, he kind of lost his balance and down he went again, and he was pretty much covered all in blood, and we really didn't expect him to make it.
These guys have a tough job. You save one life and someone else dies. It's just, you know, my hat goes off to these guys, not just for what they do, but how they deal with what they do.
And have you seen Jamie since? No, I haven't. I know that our kids go to school at the same school with kids at Christian.
Gotcha.
So I've seen his kids around the campus. I've never seen Jamie or his wife since then.
If you had the opportunity to talk to Jamie, would that be something you'd like to do?
I would, just to be able to know that I did my job.
Right.
That was the man I could save tonight.
Right. Let me see what I can do. Thanks so much, you guys. Really appreciate
Paul.
it.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful thing that you do.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you later. Thanks.
All right.
Coming up.
Alex, this is Ty.
Alex, how are you?
Expert advice for a very special reveal.
He kind of gave me an idea what it's like to show a house of someone who's blind.
Put your hand behind your back. Then I automatically go straight behind your back.
To be honest with you, we were all a little nervous.
That's ahead on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. How'd they do that?
We never revealed a house, you know, showing someone a house that couldn't see. And to be honest with you, we were all a little nervous.
Yo, buddy. Hey, let me have you talk to this kid. I mean, he's a special kid, very intelligent. He might be able to help you out, all right?
Dude, I could take any help you can find.
Ty, this is Alex, a friend of mine.
Nice to
Alex,
meet
this
you.
is Ty.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Hello.
Now, I thought it would be
I've
a
heard
really...
a lot about you. My teachers have been telling me a lot about the show and stuff. Sounds very nice the way you just came out and did this for him.
Well, we were trying to help him. He went through a lot, and it sounds like you understand a little bit of what that's like. So we actually brought in a guy by the name of Alex, who's a young kid who has been blind, I imagine, from birth, and well, he kind of gave me an idea what it's like to show a house of someone who's blind.
You might want to do something called sighted guide. I will do that with you. That's probably what he's going to do because he's not a cane user. Warn him that there's a step.
Okay.
If you need to do something, you say narrow passage and put your hand behind your back. Then I automatically go straight behind your back.
Okay.
If you want to.
Because we're designing a house for someone who can't see, we had to rely on sense of smell, sense of touch, sense of sound. You start to feel different textures. Now there's a rug coming up on the wall. You feel that? So now he knows that the bathroom is to the left of the big rug.
But does it look silly being on the wall?
Not really. I mean, it actually fits kind of perfectly, but we thought it would be a good way to let him know that the bathroom's that way.
Okay.
Now, Alex was a very smart little kid. was basically a genius.
This is a, oh, I've never seen a 40 cell.
And what will he be able to do with this?
He will, if you would turn it on, it will show up Braille.
Okay.
Somebody has something open, a file, something about eggs.
Whatever comes to the computer, the Braille actually comes up and you can feel it on your fingers.
Correct.
So that, okay, wow.
Like if I press the up arrow or whatever he had written.
1 dozen eggs.
1 dozen eggs. That's probably a grocery list. It's probably the best piece of technology I have ever gotten and will ever get. Put it that way.
If there's anything that's not in the right place, that's like out in the middle of somewhere we should get rid of, Alex said, I don't think you should put that there. People are going to run into that. Should we move that, or is that going to be okay?
If you want him to follow the pathways around his house, that might be broken by, I don't know, tomorrow morning.
So we had several things removed because Alex was like, that's not going to work for him.
Let me show you what would happen.
Okay.
He would come on, hit the porcupine, fall over, and this whole table would be gone.
Okay, we don't want that, so guess what? I'm moving this. See, you've been a huge help.
That's a nice stove.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
You can tell that's a nice stove,
What's
isn't it?
everyone screaming
That's
about?
a Kenmore. Doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, by the way, my teachers wanted your autograph, or they're going to ruin my Braille this week, so I can't read it, and then they're going to say I got the wrong answer, even if I could read it.
Okay, I will be sure to get you an autograph signature.
I need 3.
You need 3.
Okay.
Taken care of. Now, I want you to hear this. Check this out. It's wind chimes up there so that he could actually know where the door was. Does that make sense? Is that a good idea?
If I go back to the same thing, if it fits in with the decor of the place. I do my best to hide every element that says this is for me because I'm blind.
Right. Now, here's something I want you to...
You put sidewalk out in the backyard?
We did. Well, because we're leading to, guess what?
What?
It's actually a putting range. Now, Jamie is an avid golfer. He used to play golf a lot, so we thought...
He will probably be a great blind golfer then.
We've also got a water feature back here. Considering you're blind as well, I mean, have we done the right thing here?
Yes, you have done a great thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alex, you are an amazing little kid, man. I have never met anyone quite like you. I really appreciate you helping me out with this because this is the first time I've ever had to show a house to someone, person. Exactly. I really appreciate you helping me out.
I appreciate being here.
In designing this house for this family, there's a couple of things I wanted to keep in mind. The fact that the principal reason for doing this was for Jamie, who is no longer able to see. So I wanted to simulate all the rest of his senses, starting with this tactile sense of touch. Here you'll see that the driveway is separated into 3 sections, and I wanted a continuation of the sidewalk all the way to the front door. Getting close to the front door area, he'll hear the 2 water features. I placed 2 of them, 1 on each side. This is a metal wind chime. It's a little bit loud, but the reason I put this here is so that if Jamie's taking a walk around the neighborhood, he's about 3 houses down, he'll be able to hear this and know exactly where to go. Right to his front door.
Wow. Welcome home, Dolans. Jamie Dolan, the victim of a horrible tragedy, is now in a new home. So this is a method in which Jamie can find his way around the home. This carpet runner signals to me even that this traffic lane goes this way. I can hear right now there's no echo against the wall. That's the opening. If Jamie's feeling his way around the house, I don't want him to hit a painting. We want him to have hand travel right up to there. Is that a thermostat or a voice activator? I don't care. I can tell it to, hey, turn up the air conditioning. It's getting warm. This is, I don't know what they call them. I'm calling it a Braille blueprint. It's a Braille print. And all the architecture is laid out on this for Jamie. He's the father. He's the head of the household. He's why we're here. And it was great to watch him walk through the house and use these things that we put so much thought into.
All the walls are different textures, yeah.
Everything feels different.
all brought the guys out from the emergency response team that actually went to the electronics store where Jamie was shot. They're the guys that actually rushed him to the hospital.
This is Fireman Ernie and Fireman Paramedic Scott. These were the two fireman paramedics that came that night and helped you out there. So I know you hadn't seen them since then. Jamie, thank you so much.
These guys are incredible too. They when they showed up at the store, the police didn't want to let them in because they didn't know if the area was clear, if the shooter was still in there. And the AMS guy said, no, we got a call that somebody's in there alive and hurt. We're going. Pushed past the cops and went into the store. They just knew that there was somebody hurt and they were coming in to help them. It's an amazing group of guys.
They're just happy that he's alive. It's taken its toll on the family, though. The only thing that keeps them going is the love they have for one another. And we couldn't have picked a better family. Anybody feel like playing a couple holes of golf? So there you have it. If I do say so myself, a great house for an amazing family. The design team pulled out all the stops to customize it for Jamie Dolan. Now the crazy part is, well, Jamie will never see any of this, which sounds sort of sad. But to tell you what, I got to know Jamie a little bit this week, and I don't think he looks at it like that at all. I think Jamie's just happy his family's happy. I think he's happy that life's going to be a little easier this week than it was last week. And I also think he's just happy to be alive and enjoying every day. And I think, well, every one of us could learn a little lesson from that.
To find out more about the products used in tonight's show, go to abc.com, keyword home makeover.
Well, you need to get up and pack.
I'm already packed!
Well, let me see your teeth. Have you brushed your teeth yet?
No.
Let me see. You got a loose one right here. You know, you really do have a loose one.
Uh-huh.
Do you mind if I get that one?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
You got any pliers?
No!
Here, hold on a second.
Next Sunday on Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Good morning, Johnson's family!
He's a hero on the job.
He leads a team of 5 firefighters through a hail of bullets and saved their life.
And at home.
He adopted the boys so they could stay together.
Then, next Monday, see how we transformed their lives. The stories you won't see on Sunday. On Extreme Makeover Home Edition. How they do that.
And that's how they do that.
Next Monday at 8/7 Central.
Let's go get some chicken.